Double Trouble. Dark was the night and weird the atmosphere. It rained from time to time. Gusts of wind shook the trees. Between thunderclaps and the moaning of jackals could be heard the eerie laughter of spirits. Flashes of lightning revealed fearsome faces. But King Vikram did not divert a bit. He climbed the ancient tree and brought the corpse down. However, as soon as he began crossing the desolate cremation ground with the corpse lying on his shoulder, the vampire that possessed the corpse spoke. O king, braving the dangers of this cremation ground, you have been working relentlessly to achieve your goal. But I doubt whether you will be able to achieve it. Further, even if you do get what you wish for, will you be lucky enough to enjoy it? Or will you end up squandering the fruits of your victory? This was what happened with Jayant, a prince who set out on a mission only to abandon it when success was within his grasp. Listen to his story. The tale the vampire narrated was as follows. Prince Jayant, successor to the throne of Chandragiri, had attained marriageable age. When the king and queen let it be known that they were looking for a suitable bride for their son, marriage proposals from royal families poured in. The queen showed him the portraits of several princesses which she had received and asked him to make his choice. However, Jayant did not like any of them. Soon he was fed up with the whole exercise. Suddenly, an idea struck him. Why should I agree to having a bride chosen for me? I shall go out into the world and find a girl whom I like and marry her. The idea filled him with excitement. Without telling anyone of his plan, he swiftly saddled his horse and rode out of the palace. Before long, he had left the capital far behind him and was in the countryside. After riding aimlessly for a few hours, Jayant came to a picturesque wooded valley. The scenic beauty of the place urged him to stop and explore it. He had just dismounted when his attention was drawn to two young women who were plucking flowers from the bushes a few yards away. Their beauty took his breath away. After watching them from far for a few moments, Jayant could no longer restrain his curiosity. He approached them and asked, Ladies, may I know who you are and what you are doing in this lonely land? You are so beautiful that you look hardly human. The girls giggled. One of them answered, We are as human as you are. We are twin sisters Shweta and Shyama, daughters of the renowned astrologer Pandit Narayan. Our father loves this valley and has a hut here that he often uses as a retreat. We had come down here for a family holiday. Our father was invited by the neighboring king for consultation, so he has gone there, leaving us behind. The prince said, Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jayant, the crown prince of Chandragiri. My parents want me to get married, but I didn't like any of the girls they found for me. I left home in search of a suitable bride of my own choice. Now that I have seen you, I think I need not go farther. I would like to marry one of you. I want to discuss the matter with your father. When does he return from his visit? As a matter of fact, he is expected tomorrow morning, answered the girl who had spoken earlier. Now the other girl spoke up. But before you proceed further, there's something you need to know. Our father is an astrologer whose predictions seldom go wrong. After examining our horoscopes, he has predicted that both of us are destined to marry one man. That's not a problem, said Giant enthusiastically. You need not fear that I shall cause your father's prophecy to go wrong. I have no objection to marrying both of you, if that's your wish. The first girl asked, Oh Prince, what do you know about us? I don't know anything as yet, shot back Jayant, but I'm ready to learn whatever you tell me. The girls exchanged glances. The second one said, Both of us are very obstinate by nature. We would do anything to get our own way. Also, despite being devoted to each other, we are also fiercely competitive by nature. She paused and looked at her sister. The other sister now spoke up. One thing we are both very particular about is that the man we marry must be very intelligent. If you don't mind, we would like to test you. This challenge appealed to the prince's sporting nature. By all means, he said. Well then, she went on. We have already told you that our names are Shweta and Shyama. But which of us is Shweta and which Shyama? Can you answer that, O Prince? For a moment, the prince remained silent, studying their faces intently. Then, with a smile, he told the girl who had asked the question, "Evidently, you have been named on the basis of your complexion. Now you are a slightly dusky complexion compared to your sister. So you are Shyama. She is fairer than you, hence she must be Shweta. Am I right?" The girl beamed and nodded. "Yes, you are. I must compliment you," she said. It was now Shweta's turn to pose a question. "Can you find out which of us is the older twin and which the younger?" Jayant replied, "I can't tell you that immediately, but if you give me a couple of hours' time, I shall give you the answer." The girls agreed. Meanwhile, as it was lunchtime, they invited him to their hut. Quickly, they prepared a delicious meal and served him. "Thank you for a most tasty feast," said the prince as he washed his hands after the meal. Seating himself on the chair offered, he turned to Shweta and said, "And now I have the answer to your question. You are the older twin." "Right, but how could you guess?" asked Shweta in admiration. The prince explained. "Generally, it is the older sister who cooks the food while the younger helps her in cooking and in serving the food. I observed that you did all the cooking while Shama did the serving. That's how I came to this conclusion." "You are intelligent indeed," said Shama. "And now there's one thing I want to ask you. According to our horoscopes, both my sister and I are destined to give birth to our children on the same day. But my child will be born a few minutes before Shweta's. In such a scenario, which of the children would you designate your successor?" The prince said, "I need some time to think it over before answering. I would now like to take your leave. I shall come and meet your father tomorrow." He then bowed to the girls and departed. The next morning, Pandit Narayan returned from his visit. The girls told him all about the prince's visit. However, evening brought not the prince as expected, but a royal messenger. The royal messenger had a letter from the prince to the girls. It read, "After thinking over the matter, I have come to the conclusion that I cannot marry you after all. Pardon me for not keeping my word to you. Next week, I shall be getting married to Princess Pushpa of Suryapur, the bride chosen by my parents." Concluding the story at this point, the vampire demanded, "O king, why did Jayant, who had earlier been hell bent on choosing a bride himself without parental interference, suddenly change his mind and opt for a traditionally arranged marriage?" Perhaps he had originally been smitten by the girl's beauty, but on subsequent reflection realized that they were commoners and as such unsuitable. But if he was determined to marry only a girl of royal blood, why did he embark on this exercise at all? Wasn't it the height of callousness on his part to back out after having virtually promised marriage to the two innocent girls? If you know the answer, speak out. Otherwise, your head shall shatter into pieces. Without hesitation, King Vikram answered, "It's true that Jayant was initially smitten by the girl's beauty and he subsequently rejected them in a rather callous manner. But this was not because they were commoners, but for another reason. By their own admission, they were obstinate and competitive. On reflection, he realized that these traits, if he made them his queens, would cause havoc in the kingdom. Each would insist on her own son being nominated the crown prince. This in turn would not only cause strife within the family but weaken the kingdom. Hence, he wisely decided not to marry either or both of them." On hearing this, the vampire nodded in approval. The next moment, he, along with the corpse, moved off the king's shoulder with a jerk and flew back to the tree. King Vikram gave a little sigh as he gazed upon the scene. Then he squared his shoulders and retraced his steps towards the tree. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.